Hello students, today we are going to revise the new chapter, that is gravitation. See here, the important terms from this chapter are here: force, Newton's universal law of gravitation, free fall and centripetal force, and last escape velocity. So what is meant by force? Force is a physical quantity that changes or tends to change the state of rest or uniform motion along a straight line. Okay, so this is a physical quantity by which we can change the state of rest or uniform motion along a straight line. Then second concept, Newton's universal law of gravitation. According to the Newton's universal law of gravitation, every object in the universe attracts every other object with a force which is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to square of distance between them. See here, what is Newton's universal law of gravitation? Here, every object in the universe attracts every other object with a force which is directly proportional to the product of masses and inversely proportional to the square of distance between their centers. Okay. Then next concept, free fall. When a body falls towards earth under the influence of the earth's gravity alone, its motion is called free fall. When a body falls towards the earth under the influence of earth's gravity alone, its motion is called free fall. Then centripetal force, the force that acts on any object moving along a circle directed towards the center of the circle is called centripetal force. Centripetal force means center seeking force. Okay, the object that moves along a circular path that directs toward the center of circle, okay, that attract toward the center with a force, that force is known as centripetal force. Okay, then escape velocity, the minimum initial velocity needed by an object projected upward to overcome Earth's gravitational force and not fall back on the Earth is called escape velocity. Okay, so the next, here there are some questions. We revise this chapter with question answers. Okay, so here the first question is complete the analogy. Some important questions are picked up from this chapter to revise this. The first question is 6 into 10 raised to 24 kg. It is the mass of earth. So the question is 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 meter. It is radius of earth. Okay. Then orbit of the space shuttle 8.7 meter per second square. And communication satellite, it is 0.225 meter per second square. Then third, mass. Mass is a scalar quantity and weight is a vector quantity. So the answer is vector quantity. At poles, 9.83 meter per second square. The acceleration due to gravity at poles, it is 9.83 meter per second square, and at equator the answer is 9.78 meter per second square. Then the fifth question, shape of earth at equator, bulge. Okay, and shape of earth at poles, answer is flatten. Sixth question, kinetic energy half mv square, and second the question is potential energy, so the correct answer is mgh. Then answer the following question in one sentence. This is another type of question. What is the value of g at the center of the earth? We know value of g. As we go deep into earth surface, then the value of g decreases up to 0. Okay, so the answer is at the center of earth the value of g is 0. Second, will the mass and weight of an object on earth be same as their values on mass y? Okay, so the answer is mass of an object will be same on earth and mass does not change place to place. That is why the value of mass will be same on earth as well as Mars. The second point of the answer is, since value of g on earth and mass is different, weight of the objects will be different. Why it is different on Mars and Earth because the value of weight is different for different planet. That is why the mass of an object, weight of an object will differ on different planet. Then important formula from this chapter, gravitation. Here G, the acceleration due to gravity, is equal to Gm upon r square. G, universal law constant. Then capital M, mass of Earth, and capital R, radius of Earth. Okay, so G is equal to Gm upon r square. Here W, weight, is equal to force. The unit of both weight and force is same, that is Newton, and we know force is equal to mass into gravity. Therefore weight is equal to m into g also. Here weight is equal to force, and force, this is a gravitational force, is equal to Gmm upon r square. This G is universal law constant, capital M, mass of Earth, small m, mass of object, and the capital R, radius of Earth. See, note here, for Earth G is equal to 9.77 meter per second square, and for Moon, gravity of Moon is equal to 1.63 meter per second square. Here we know these three equations according to Newton's law. This V is equal to U plus AT. V, final velocity, U, initial velocity, A, acceleration, and T, time. Okay, so therefore V is equal to U plus AT. We know generally U is equal to 0, therefore V is equal to AT that time. Okay, so second equation, S is equal to UT plus half AT square, and third equation, V square is equal to U square plus 2AS. For free fall, here V is equal to U plus GT. Here G, we take G for A, replacement of A, that is acceleration. Here G is acceleration due to gravity according to free fall. Okay, so second equation becomes S is equal to UT plus half GT square. Here we taken G for A. V square is equal to U square plus 2GS. This is the equation for free fall. See here, downward dropped or falling object, for falling object G taken to be positive, and for upward or thrown up object G taken to be negative sign. Okay, see the next example from that topic. There is 2 marks question. This is for 2 marks question. An object takes 5 seconds to reach the ground from a height of 5 meter. An object takes 5 seconds to reach the ground from height of 5 meter on a planet. What is the value of G on the planet? You have to find out the value of G of that planet. So see, solution is here. First you have to write given from that question. Here displacement is given, that means height, that is 5 meter. Here time 5 seconds, that object reach in 5 seconds from the height of 5 meter. Okay, then initial velocity, that is 0. Okay, to find gravitational acceleration at that planet. Formula is equal to S is equal to UT plus half GT square. So solution, here you have to put the values from given the question. Here S is equal to 5 meter, then initial velocity 0, so this quantity becomes 0, U into T 0 plus half into G into 5 square. We know time is equal to 5 seconds, that is why 5 square is we write. See, the next step is phi is equal to G into 25 upon 2. Here 5 square 25, and that 2 is written here. Okay, so phi is at 25, so we got G is equal to 2 upon 5. So the answer is G is equal to 0.4 meter per second square. So value of G on that planet is 0.4 meter per second. Okay, so this is the step for the solving equation from that topic. Then the next question, this is for 3 mark question, variation in the value of G. We know there are variation in the value of G according to value along the surface of the earth then changing with height, and then change with depth. Okay, so these are the main points for the change, variation in the value of G. So first let's discuss one by one. The first, along the surface of the earth. We know the earth is not perfectly spherical. It is bulged. It is bulged at the equator and flattened at the poles. Okay, so the radius is highest at equator, because at equator it bulged. That is why the radius highest, and here it is flattened at poles. That is why radius is least. Okay, so value of G is highest at poles, that is 9.83 meter per second square. Here radius highest because value of G highest because it is the radius is least. Okay, it means the G is inversely proportional to radius. Small g is inversely proportional to radius. If radius least, then G increases. If radius highest, then G decreases. Okay, so that is why value of G is least at equator. So that is 9.78 meter per second. Then the second point from this answer is change with height. The value of G also changes with height. As we go above from the surface of earth, then this value decreases. As height increases, value of G decreases. The change is negligible for the height smaller than the radius of the earth, because here the height become r plus h. R means radius of earth and distance become r plus h. That is why the value of G changes as we go above from the earth's surface. Then change with depth. The last point of that answer is change with depth. As we go inside the earth from the surface, the value of G also decreases, because we know at the center G is 0. As depth increases, value of G decreases. This is because as we go inside the earth, the mass under consideration decreases. Hence, value of G decreases. Okay, it means the value of G is maximum at the surface, is only at surface. As we go above from the surface and below from the surface, it goes decreases. Okay, so the next question, the important question is for 2 marks, that is difference between. It means distinguish between. Okay, here the first question from that question is difference between gravitational acceleration constant and gravitational constant and gravitational acceleration. So see what is the difference between these two concepts. So first difference from gravitational constant. Gravitational constant is the force of attraction between two unit masses placed at a unit distance apart from each other. Okay, and here gravitational acceleration, the uniform acceleration produced in a free falling body due to the gravitation force of the earth is called gravitational acceleration. So first point is definition of that concept, gravitational constant and gravitational acceleration. Okay, so next point of answer, it has SI unit, Newton meter square per kg square. The gravitational constant, okay, the unit of gravitational constant is Newton meter square per kilogram square, and in CGS it is 9 centimeter square per gram square. See in here the gravitational acceleration, it has the unit, SI unit is meter per second square, and in CGS it is centimeter per second square. Here third point, it is always denoted by capital G and it is denoted by small g. Okay, then the fourth point of answer, its value, we know its value 6.673 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square per kilogram square. So this is the value for gravitational constant, and we know here the value of G is 9.8. It is a constant value, standard value 9.8 meter per second square. See here, its value is fixed and does not change with conditions, hence it is called universal constant. You know it is universal constant because this value is fixed, it does not change place to place. And this value of G, it means acceleration depends on various factors like altitude, depth, shape. We are discussed this question, this answer in previous question. Okay. Then the second question from the difference between, that is mass and weight. Okay. So see the answer of this question. You have to write point wise answer. Okay. The first point of the answer is mass is amount of matter present inside the body, present in the object. Okay. This is the first definition point. Here weight is the force with which earth attracts the object toward the center. Okay. So this is the definition of the both concept. And the second point of that answer, mass does not change with place. We discussed this point. Mass does not change place to place. That is why the value of mass be same on Mars, on Earth as well as. Here weight is equal to m into g. This value changeable. Okay. This value has variation according to height, depth, altitude. Okay. So as g changes, weight also changes. Here SI unit is kg. The SI unit of mass is kilogram, and in CGS it is gram. Okay. Here the weight, we discussed this answer, the SI unit of force is Newton. That is why force and weight is same physical quantity. That is why it is Newton, and in CGS it is dyne. The fourth point of answer is mass is a scalar quantity and weight is a vector quantity. Then next, define the universal law of gravitation and derive mathematically. Okay. Here the another question. Here derivation. They ask derivation for 3 marks. Okay. The universal law of gravitation. You have to first write the universal law of gravitation, that every object attracts every other object with a force which is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the distance between their centers. So this is the universal law of gravitation. Okay. Then you have to derive mathematically. So draw this figure. There are two objects having mass m1 and m2. Okay. With force f1 and f2 respectively, two objects. Okay. And the distance between these two objects is d. See, let m1 and m2 are the masses of two objects. The distance between their centers be d. The gravitational acceleration between the two will be given by. Here force is directly proportional to product of their masses. It means there are two masses m1 and m2. Okay. So this force is directly proportional to m1 into m2 and inversely proportional to the distance between them, that is d square. Okay. So this proportionality sign, we have to is equal to sign with constant by this proportionality sign, again this proportionality sign. Okay. So f is equal to capital G m1 m2 upon d square. Here G is the constant, universal law of constant, because this value is fixed. It does not change place to place. So G is called gravitational constant. It is also known as universal constant of gravitation. Okay. So for 3 marks this answer is. Then for 3 marks another question is write 3 laws of Kepler's. We know Kepler described planetary motion. Okay. By these 3 laws, and that laws are called Kepler 3 laws. This law describes planetary motion of planets around the sun. So first law is Kepler first law. The orbit of planet is an ellipse with the sun at one of the foci. Then the second law, Kepler's second law, the line joining the planet and the sun sweeps equal area in equal interval of time. And the third law, Kepler's third law, the square of its period of revolution around the sun is directly proportional to the cube of the mean distance of planet from the sun. So this is 3 laws for 3 marks, 1 mark for each. Then the next, inverse square law of gravity. This is another derivation from that topic, from that chapter gravitation, for 5 marks also. Okay. So see, if a planet revolves around the sun in a circular orbit, then the centripetal force exerted on it by the sun is F is equal to mv square upon r. Okay, so here where m is the mass of planet, v is velocity and r radius of the circle. Here second, the distance traveled in one revolution by planet is equal to circumference, and we know that circumference is equal to 2 pi r. So see here 2 pi r. The time period of revolution is capital T. Here we know from 9th standard this formula, speed is equal to distance divided by time. So here v is equal to, here we know distance is 2 pi r, that is equal to circumference. So v is equal to 2 pi r upon t. Therefore v is equal to mv square upon r. Okay, this is a centripetal force. F is equal to mv square r up, this is centripetal force. Okay, so put this value of v into this formula. So next, see here, we know F is equal to mv square upon r. So we put here the value of v, 2 pi r upon t square, bracket square upon t upon r. Okay, then we get F is equal to 4 m pi square r upon t square. Then F is equal to 4m pi square r divided by capital T. We have to multiply and divide by r square, okay, to denominator and numerator. So F is equal to 4m pi square r cube and then r square t square. Here we know according to Kepler's third law, t square upon r cube is equal to k, or r cube upon t square is equal to 1 upon k. So put this value 1 upon k into this formula. F is equal to 4m pi square upon k r square. Okay, so here we know 4m pi square upon k is constant. That is why we get F is directly proportional, inversely proportional to r square. Okay, it means F is inversely proportional to r square. It means this is how Newton's prove inverse square law of gravity. Okay, it means if distance decreases, force increases, distance increases, force decreases. Okay, so this is inverse law of gravitation. Then the next, define escape velocity and derive mathematically. Another mathematical derivation is there for 2 mass. Okay, this is a small questions. So first you have to write define means definition. Okay, so the velocity required to overcome the Earth's gravitational force. Here it is initial velocity to overcome the Earth's gravitational force to move into the space is called escape velocity. So on surface of Earth A, kinetic energy is equal to half mv square escape. Okay, potential energy is equal to gm upon r. Total energy, we know total energy is equal to potential energy plus kinetic energy. See here, potential energy plus kinetic energy. So E1 is equal to half mv square escape minus gm upon r. So this is from this on Earth's surface. Okay, and next, at infinity, okay, at long distance, k is equal to 0 and potential energy is equal to minus gm upon infinity, that is 0. So total energy P plus equal to 0 because both values are 0. 0 plus 0, 0. So according to law of conservation of energy, we know energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can be only converted from one form to another form. So therefore E1 is equal to E2. Total energy remains constant, always constant. That is why E1 is equal to E2. Therefore we get half mv square minus gm upon r is equal to 0. So put this value into put this value along the equal to sign. Okay, so here v square is equal to 2gm upon r. Then v escape is equal to into root square root 2gm upon r into r and divided by r. Okay, so we get here 2gm into r upon r square. So we know the acceleration due to gravity is equal to gm upon r square. That is why we get for this value small g, v escape is equal to into square root 2 small g r. So for Earth escape velocity is equal to 11.2 kilometer per second. Put the value of this radius of earth and gravity of earth into this formula, then we get this value 11.2 kilometer per second. Then another questions, figure based questions are there. Here figure are given and then ask some questions. Okay, 2 or 3 questions are there for 2 marks or 3 marks. See this figure, we already discussed this question, discussed this concept. Then first question is, what are the masses of objects shown in this figure? We know m1 and m2 are the masses of these 2 objects. So the answer is the masses are m1 and m2. Second question, what is the distance between their centers? Here d is the distance between that 2 objects. So right, correct answer, the distance between the centers is d. Then the third question, write gravitational force between them. Now the gravitational force is directly proportional to product of the masses and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. So this is the formula and this is the derivation. Then another question of that on that figure, that is why gravitation constant is called universal constant. We know this value is fixed, it does not change place to place, that is why we call universal constant. So the answer is the value of gravitational constant does not depend upon the nature, size of the bodies. It also does not depend upon the nature of the medium between 2 bodies. Hence it is called universal constant. The fifth question is, what will happen to gravitational force if mass of one of the objects is double? If the mass of one of the objects is double, then the gravitational force between them also gets double. Why it gets double? Because we know the force is directly proportional to the masses, and that is why masses when double, then force also get double. Then next question is like this, complete the diagram, complete the flow chart. Okay, so this question is, you have to fill these blocks. So answer is like this, high tides, low tide, low tide. This is the moon's gravitational force. Okay, so important points from that topic. Here the earth does not have perfectly spherical shape. Okay, we know earth does not have spherical shape. It bulges at equator and flatten at poles. That is why the radius of earth highest at equator and least at poles. Okay, that is why the value of G is highest at poles and least at equator, that is 9.7 and here 9.83. okay, it is slightly flattened at the poles and bulges at equator. Okay, therefore the radius of the earth at poles is less and at the highest at less than the at equator. Okay, second point of from that topic is the value of G is maximum at poles and it is 9.83 meter per second or 983 centimeter per second square. We know the value of G is maximum at poles because it is flattened at poles, that is why radius is least, and we get the value of G is maximum at poles, that is 9.87. okay, and here the value of G is minimum at the equator because here radius is highest. Okay, because the shape of earth is bulge at equator, it is bulge, that is why the radius increases, and we know the G is inversely proportional to radius. If radius decreases, then G increases. If radius increases, then G decreases, and that is why the value of G is minimum at equator and it is 9.78 meter per second and 978 centimeter per second square. You have got this idea from the gravitation chapter. So thank you.